Welcome to the second virtual open house. My name is Kathleen Semino and I am the CIBA principal. The 2021-2022 school year has started with positive energy and enthusiasm. It is amazing to hear laughter in our halls, collaboration in our classrooms, and seeing our returning and new students in person. As in the past, we are committed to partnering with you, the CIBA families, for your students' success. Please feel free to reach out and communicate with individual CIBA staff members at any time regarding your CIBA students' progress and ways that you can support at home. Before open house, we ask that you watch this grade level video in its entirety to learn about the courses and expectations. We've also included the IB program highlights for each grade level. On Wednesday, September 22nd, we will be following a virtual format for open house. I have emailed the schedule along with the Google Meet links to join. You will notice that beginning at 5:30, there are 10-minute sessions with each teacher. Please join your CIBA students' classes by clicking on the link or cutting and pasting it into your browser. It would be a good idea to touch base with your CIBA student to confirm that you have identified all of their classes and teachers in advance. The purpose of all of these sessions is to meet the CIBA staff member, learn about the course and expectations, and have an opportunity for questions. In addition, there are sessions on Services Action for grades 9 and 10, Personal Project for grade 10, Creativity, Activity, and Service, or CAS, for grades 11 and 12, and Extended Essay for grades 11 and 12, which are essential components of our IB programs and graduation requirements at CIBA. For grade 9, we've also featured a session on Gear Up to learn about all of the opportunities that Gear Up will provide for grade 9 students and beyond. Our CIBA website will also have a virtual library of information that is usually available at our open house. On behalf of the entire CIBA staff, I would like to thank you for taking the time to join us.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Sawyer, and this is Dr. Ryan Campbell, and we are the two English teachers who collaborate to teach MYP4 language and literature.
And this is a course where we are really trying to bring students from a variety of backgrounds and locations and create a lifelong love of reading in all of them and help get them ready for the diploma program. We're trying to use language as a vehicle for thought and creativity. We're trying to help develop students into better speakers and listeners. And we're trying to engage them in both creative and critical writing so that they can participate and explore language from different historical periods and cultures. So we're going to expose them to a variety of texts, and we'll go through the syllabus now.
So our main goal with freshman year is to focus on metacognition, which is thinking about thinking. And we are trying to teach students how to read like a literary scholar. And we try to adopt certain mental moves that people use when reading literature. And that is one of the main things that we do as we study, starting with The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, which is a verse novel, building on those skills as we study short stories and social identity through the elements of fiction. And then when we get to poetry, we're really looking at expression of the self, and we're refining our mental moves each time we move from genre to genre to figure out how to become better, more engaged readers.
And then when we jump into looking at Macbeth by William Shakespeare, we're going to expand those mental moves and really start building on analysis by having students develop reading logs that are independent reading logs and really focusing in on some of the soliloquies in that text and really exploring how they can unpack the language. We'll also be doing Tableau and some creative team building and team productions of scenes so that they can feel a little bit more connected to actors, acting, and also stage production. And then finally, we end the year looking at memoirs, and if students study Chinese, they'll read one memoir. They'll read The Paper Daughter, and if they are taking Spanish, they'll read This Is Between Us. And these two memoirs will help us understand how we can also craft our own memoirs.
As part of the MYP Language and Literature program, we are required to assess students on at least, on the 4 assessment criteria, at least 2 times per year on a summative assessment. We try to do more than that so that we get a really accurate picture of where students are. But we look at their ability to analyze, to organize, to produce text, and to use language.
Participation is required, and the IB Learner Profile has a variety of traits, and we want to be caring, and we want to respect the learning environment and create a positive classroom environment by being here, being present, and wearing our uniforms. We want to be risk takers, so practice makes progress, not perfection. We want people to try. We want the students to try and to put themselves out there, and that's going to be an opportunity for them to grow from any mistakes that they have, and also to refine and get better if they are doing things well.
Okay, we also want students to be principled, and that means doing their own work and doing it on time, submitting it to Google Classroom on or before the deadlines, and really staying on top of the schedule so they can balance all the many responsibilities of being an IB learner. We also really focus on being thinkers and communicators. Students learn through engagement, discussion, and inquiry, and this requires a voice.
So if you want to get a hold of us, email is certainly the best way. You can get a hold of me at campbell.rw@easthartford.org.
And sawyer.jl@easthartford.org. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and we hope to really form an effective partnership with you in your students' education at CIBA.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Miss Justina Alicea, and I'm a student at University of St. Joseph, and I'm in my final semester there. And I will be student teaching here with Dr. Campbell and Mrs. Sawyer's English class. And we'll be doing the elements of fiction and the short story and introduction of poetry. And I am particularly excited to be doing these because I love reading short stories. They're one of my favorite things to read, and I can't wait to dive into them with the students.
Good evening. My name is Yolanda Lemosurier, or Senora L, is known as by my students. I am the MYP4 Spanish teacher here at CIBA. Students in the MYP learn to make connections to our global community. They learn about other cultures while referencing their own. They learn about how we are all interconnected. The purpose of this course is to develop the ability to use the target language to communicate about everyday topics. Students will also demonstrate the ability to work collaboratively and develop their reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills. There is also a focus on Hispanic culture and its influence in the world. The MYP program is comprised of 6 phases with strands within each competency, 3 achievement levels, emergent, capable, and proficient, as well as 4 criterions. Criterion A for listening, criterion B for reading, criterion C for speaking, and criterion D for writing. All of these also fall under one of the 6 categories, which are identities and relationships, orientation in space and time, personal and cultural expression, scientific and technical innovation, globalization and sustainability, and fairness and development. In addition, there are key concepts, communications, connections, creativity, and culture, and related concepts. With regard to the day-to-day, students should be in Google Classroom daily. This is where the daily and weekly assignments, such as Duolingo, which is a weekly assignment, homework, and additional support materials for the course are posted. I will also try to post reminders for upcoming quizzes and tests. Parents are also able to access this as well. In addition, PowerSchool is where students and parents are able to check grades. Students are also encouraged to use SpanishDICT.com or Word Reference and not to use Google Translate. It is imperative that students not use Google Translate for entire sentences or paragraphs. In the long run, this is going to hurt them as they will be unable to write complete sentences on their own and therefore build on knowledge or on learning. Plus, their grades will also reflect the use of Google Translate. I also encourage students to do extra practices and to, if they get a chance to watch a news program or something in Spanish for a supplemental. Watch a movie maybe that they've seen already in English in Spanish to get to hear it and also to listen to it. So it is super important that students are able to do those things if they are able to. That is it. Thank you.
Welcome to Chinese MYP class. I'm Angela Chen. My student Chen 老师. I'm original from Shanghai, China. I'm certified experienced Chinese K-12 language teachers for AP, IB, MYP, and DP. I love teaching Chinese languages and Chinese culture. I have helped many students achieve their Chinese study learning goals. I'm so excited this year to join CIBA family. I'm looking forward to meeting all my Chinese families this year. So now, let's look at what are we going to do this year in our Chinese MYP class. Chinese MYP4 class is a complete high school Chinese 1 course that meet and exceed Octave Chinese standards. The course attempts to incorporate MYP fundamental concepts of learning, intercultural awareness, and communications, in that connections between Chinese languages and Chinese culture are emphasized. The IB learner profile is used as a guide in developing and implementing the Chinese MYP curriculum. Being a Chinese course, an emphasis is placed on developing inquiries and thinkers while trying to have students reflect upon what they have learned. Now, you must want to know what are we going to learn this year, and what are key questions of all the units we are going to learn. We are going to learn what does Chinese culture look like, include the Chinese pinyin system, Chinese writing system. How does the Chinese people greet each other? Greeting in Chinese. What pieces of me reflect of my identity? All about me unit. What makes a family? How to say family members, relatives, friends in Chinese. How to describe the weather in Chinese. How can I describe different numbers, time, days, colors, and school supplies in Chinese? I encourage my students to start speaking Chinese, even they are just joining the Chinese MYP4 class. So students will engage in conversations, provide and obtain information, express feelings and emotions, and exchange opinions. Students will understand and interpret written and spoken Chinese languages on a variety of topics this year. Students will convey information, concepts, and ideas to listeners and readers for a variety of purposes. Students will gain knowledge and understanding of Chinese culture, traditions, and make a comparison to their own culture. Students will demonstrate an understanding of the relationship between the perspectives and practices of Chinese culture studied and the ability to use this knowledge to interact effectively in cultural contexts. Students will demonstrate an understanding of the relationship between the perspectives, contributions, and the products of Chinese culture studied and their own culture. Over the course of this year, students will achieve the objectives of grade, describe personal information, and respond orally to simple questions in Chinese, describe themselves and family members in Chinese, Identity dates tell birthdays and ages, describe a daily schedule in Chinese, express likes and dislikes in Chinese, gain understanding of geography, people, daily life, values, and the philosophy of China and the Chinese-speaking people. Compare, contrast, and analyze their own culture with Chinese culture. And about the assessment, a variety assessment we're going to use, both formatives and summatives. So the formative assessment will include a combination of daily classwork, homework, lesson quizzes, and oral activities. Summative will consist of unit exams, midterm, final, and projects. Class expectations, be on time and ready to learn. Kind respect to your classmates, teachers, and material with which you come into contact. Try your best to speak in Chinese as much as possible. Work hard and do your best. Welcome to Chinese MYP4 class. Here is my contact information for all my Chinese MYP4 families and students. I'm here always available for my students and my families. I'm looking forward to a great year with my MYP families and students.
Hello, I'm Jill McNulty, and I teach the periodized section of MYP4 U.S. History. This Individuals and Societies class begins in Reconstruction and ends in the mid-20th century. One goal of the course is to provide your student with the opportunity to achieve 1 credit in U.S. history that they'll need for high school graduation. Another goal of the course is to lay foundational skills and give students a breadth of historical understanding should they decide to take more history courses in their diploma program years. My colleague, Mrs. Huppert, will tell you more detail about the skills and aims of this class. I look forward to a wonderful year, and I'm really happy that you are now part of the CIBA family. Take care. Hi, I'm Judy Huppert. I'm the other MYP4 history teacher. One of the other things, in addition to what Ms. McNulty talked about, that we spend a lot of time with your students on this year is on preparing them for advanced work in history, but also just preparing them for being active and informed citizens. And so we do this by working a lot with documents and learning how to read and analyze what's in the documents. We'll learn research skills, we practice writing skills, we look at organization and being able to analyze information that we're taking in to check for validity and reliability. So it's really great skills for all of our students to have as they move through their high school careers and later into life. We're really looking forward to working with your students this year, and please at any time, if you have any questions, reach out to us. Thanks.
Hello, CIBA families. I'm your child's MYP4 Integrated Science teacher. My name is Dr. Shilpa Chaudhary. Your children know me really well, as during this short period of time, we have developed great connections among science learners. I want to take this moment and introduce myself to you. After historic disruption in education and learning, this has been a difficult time for all of us. And being a parent of 2 high schoolers myself, I understand a parent ends very humbly and want to communicate that I'm with you and your child always to meet their needs. Being in higher education for the last 22 years, I strongly believe that a child is not physically and mentally ready for learning until the social emotional needs are met. Having said this, I'm just not their science teacher in school, but like a mom, first as an emotional healer and then a teacher. Research has proven that a freshman high schooler brain is like an unformed piece of clay on a pottery wheel, which can be molded into a beautiful piece of artwork that can contribute productively to the changing global society. And it is my job to prepare my student holistically for that purpose. Having said this, this is my first year of teaching at CIBA. Before CIBA, I was a faculty at UConn for 19 years, and then dedicated myself to the public school teaching past 2015 to influence young brains, first in Farmington and then in Torrington. Now I'm fortunate to be a part of CIBA, whose foundation is equity, inclusion, and diversity. CIBA's mission to excellence in teaching through a student-centered approach and meeting all student needs is very inspiring. Moreover, being a scientist and a strong believer of inquiry-based learning, I am fortunate to be a part of CIBA family that supports next-generation science curriculum, promoting scientific literacy based on global context, and preparing our students for life, careers, and profession. Students in MYP4 program learn how to represent information, explore models, and find solutions to real-world problems. Students are assessed based on 4 criteria: knowing and understanding, inquiring and designing, processing and evaluating, and reflecting on the impacts of science. There is a strong emphasis on communication, collaboration, self-management, critical thinking, and interdisciplinary approach. This builds foundational connectivity to future MYP5 and DP Science courses. In this program, based on next-gen science curriculum, students will cover 5 units: Earth Science, Impacts on Earth Resources, Climate Change, Advanced Astronomy, and Astrophysics. I encourage students to buy a notebook or a 3-ring binder for note-taking, study guide, science lab portfolio, which contains their daily question responses that reflect each unit. Each day, morning announcements are posted on Google Classroom. Stream page containing lesson title, learning targets, and agenda. All assignments, including homework, in an organized manner are posted in the classwork section of the Google Classroom, with detailed instructions of the learning tasks or the targets. I only assign purposeful and meaningful homework where students can practice skills for concepts covered in class. All homework must be completed and submitted to the Google Classroom before or on due date. Answers to homework are discussed in next class as reflections. To check your child's progress, you must link yourself to Google Classroom and PowerSchool to get all assessment summary, grades, and teachers' feedback or comments. Students are graded in many ways through preparation, participation, engagement, collaboration, projects, lab, study guide, portfolios, tests, and quizzes. In continuum of receiving teachers' feedback, reviewing, revising, and resubmitting work. It is realistic for a learner to make mistakes and learn from them and practice to hone skills for future. I'm always available for extra help in science, in period I, and after school through Google Classroom, emails, or phone calls. Parents can reach out to me anytime for any questions or any concerns through email or phone call. With this goal of meeting every child's social emotional need, equity, and no child left behind in STEMness, I welcome you all to the Science Classroom open house. In addition, if your child wants to attend a STEM activity club after school, where your child will be able to meet professors from UConn for career guidance, prepare for Department of Energy competitions like Science Bowl, Science Olympiad, and attend virtual workshops at UConn to add to their CV, please contact me. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Amy Cunningham, and I am the MYP4 mathematics teacher here at CIBA. Students in the MYP learn how to represent information, to explore and model situations, and to find solutions to familiar and unfamiliar problems. They are assessed on 4 criteria: knowing and understanding, investigating patterns, mathematical communication, and real-world applications. There is a strong emphasis on collaboration and investigations throughout the MYP to help build a good foundation for the DP mathematics courses. We encourage students to purchase a graphing calculator with the recommendation of the TI-84 Plus calculator. 83, 83 Plus, and 84 are also acceptable. Calculators can be purchased at stores like Target, Walmart, Staples, and Amazon. I assign homework nearly every night. All homework assignments are posted to Google Classroom. The intention of nightly homework is for students to practice the skills and concepts covered in class that day. Homework is graded based on completion. Evidence of a good faith effort on each problem will earn full credit. It is expected for students to make their mistakes on nightly homework so we can review them and learn from them together. To see your child's progress, be sure to regularly check Google Classroom for assignments and PowerSchool for grades. There are 2 MYP4 math classes. The standard level course is most similar to that of a traditional Algebra 1 course, with additional topics in statistics. Topics covered in this course include sequences, linear equations and functions, systems of equations, linear regression, properties of exponents and exponential functions, polynomials, and quadratic equations and functions. The extended level course is a hybrid of introductory statistics and geometry. The topics covered in this course include 1-variable statistics, probability and two-way tables, coordinate geometry, points, lines, and planes, ratios and proportions, Pythagorean theorem, trigonometry, and area and volume. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me at any time.
Hello, my name is Fran Farrell, and I'm the MYP4 Grade 9 Freshman Year Design Technology teacher here at CIBA. I'm very excited to be here. This is my 5th year here at CIBA, and I'm very excited to be working with this group of freshmen. These students have already proved themselves to be thoughtful and hardworking and diligent in what they need to do. So a little bit about what this class is. This is a unique class that IB offers that it's unlike really any design class I've seen or technology class that I've seen offered. So we focus on the design cycle. We focus on the iterative nature of design and creating products to solve a problem. So in our class, we will look at what a problem is, how it's having an impact on a group of people, whether it's a small group, us individually, or a larger scale, nationwide, global issue. And then from there, we come up with ideas of how might we go about solving this based on the issues. From there, after we've done our research and we've developed ideas, we will then create something. We'll actually utilize a few different mediums, which we'll talk about later in this video. And then from there, after we've created it, we make revisions to it. And the iterative nature of, designing, building, fixing up, and making something better. Even here in school, we talk about how this is appropriate. So in an English class, if you're writing a paper, the teacher may give a prompt, and from there you start developing ideas of how you want to approach that paper, and then you write it, you give it to a teacher, you give it to a peer for feedback, and then you get it back and you edit that. You evaluate what you did, and from there you try to make it better. This is something that we see in our everyday lives, whether it's something with our friends or just for us, but it's a class about problem solving, and we use design thinking to do so. As a class that focuses on problem solving, one of the key areas that we look at is the Sustainable Development Goals as created by the United Nations back in 2015. So far, we have already discussed many of them. Specifically, we've looked into the idea of water pollution, and we've looked at what people are creating right now in order to solve solutions for this problem, from things like Mr. Trash Wheel and the ocean cleanup, things that exist now that will autonomously collect trash from the oceans and the waterways around us. However, we are also talking about greener designs, and we are looking into eco-friendly housing designs. So one thing we're going to be doing is working with a program called SketchUp, which is a 3D rendering program, and the students will be researching green technologies and green materials, and then from there they will actually create a 3D rendition of a home that would be eco-friendly and considered a green building design. However, we also do have a green screen back here, so we will be doing some graphic design as well, utilizing Photoshop, hopefully. We also have a 3D printer back here, so some 3D rendering designs as well. Throughout the year, we'll also be talking about hypothetical design solutions, so talking about nanotechnologies and what might happen in the future and things we'd like to see with that. We will also be looking into web design and logo design as well, so utilizing our resources and our tools to create real solutions and hopefully have some fun in the process. Please feel free to contact me with any help that you might need. My email address is farrell.fm@easthartford.org, which will be someplace down here. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to a fantastic year. Bye now.
Hello, my name is Derek Bell, and I am the MYP4 and MYP5 Health and Phys Ed teacher here at CIBA. Your child throughout the school year will rotate between both subject areas, primarily focusing on PE Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and health education on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Some of the subject areas we're going to focus on in health education are primarily based on skill development. Skills such as setting up a specific goal, accessing information, analyzing influences, or self-management skills are just a few areas that we primarily focus on in health class. If at any time you need to contact me or you have a concern, please email me at bell.dw@easthartford.org. I look forward to working with your child. Until we see you in person, bye for now.
Hi, I'm Robert Spiller, Essay Coordinator here at CIBA, and I'm here to give you an overview of our essay program. Essay stands for Service in Action, and it is a component of the MYP program. All students in 9th and 10th grade must engage in essay activities throughout the full 2-year period. Our expectation at CIBA is that in freshman year, students log a minimum of 6 essay experiences, and in sophomore year, the expectation is students would log a minimum of 8 essay experiences. All experiences must be logged into ManageBack and must include reflections. The reflections should cover all of the learning outcomes, where students talk about what they did, how they felt, what they experienced, and what they were thinking while doing the activity. It is important to note that essay is a graduation requirement at CIBA, and the expectation is that all requirements would be fulfilled by the end of sophomore year. If you have any questions about essay, please do not hesitate to contact me. I will gladly answer all of your questions. Thank you.
Greetings, folks. Welcome to CIBA's open house. I'm so excited to be a part of the lives of your students and yours over the next 4 or 5 years. Gear Up is an amazing program. It stands for Gaining Early Access and Readiness for Undergraduate Programs. And it's a huge college and career readiness program. It's part of a federal grant from the U.S. Department of Education and the East Hartford Public School System. It's a very competitive grant project, and the East Hartford Public School System submitted a successful application a couple of years ago for this as part of the state university system, part of a $26 million federal grant to provide programs in East Hartford, in Meriden, Waterbury. And so we've got a special thing going here at East Hartford, and CIBA is new to the mix this year, following a number of students that were in the program last year from Sunset Ridge, East Hartford Middle School, we're over at the East Hartford High School. And you know, the vision of Gear Up East Hartford is that all students are academically, socially, financially ready to succeed in post-secondary opportunities of all kinds, college and career. It's a long-term project. We're following the class of 2025, the freshmen this year, all the way through. So we'll be there next year for when they're in 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, and beyond. We're actually around for at least a year afterwards, providing services, support. The college and career readiness is a sort of an amorphous thing. It's a big thing. There's so many different elements to it. We'll provide tutoring, and academic coaching, mentoring. Individually, we'll partner with community organizations. There's after-school programs, summer programs, STEM programs, dual enrollment programs where college credit can be awarded and transferred early. We'll go on field trips. We'll go on college visits. We'll explore a range of different colleges. We'll go through the financial aid applications and the scholarship hunt together. There'll be programs to help students transition successfully this year and into their first year of college. I come from Manchester Community College, but Gear Up is not sort of strictly related to MCCs. Specifically on the back end, students will explore all kinds of different post-secondary options, whether it's 2 or 4 years, public or private, near and far, and we'll go all over and find and work with students individually to make sure that they have the resources they need and they find the right fit and they're able to afford it. There are lots of different ways to afford college, even the reach schools, even the more expensive schools, and certainly locally there's a ton of really valuable options. We'll explore all of them. So, part of it is going to be the Gear Up scholarship that every student is entitled to. So we're really excited to be doing all of this, to be getting to know you, to have this opportunity over the course of the next 5 years and beyond, to work with students, to be a resource, to be a source of support, and so always welcome questions and feedback and one of the primary goals that we have is family engagement and to make this a really wonderful experience as it will be. CIBA has an amazing staff, faculty, the administration, the high school is amazing. So welcome. We get some housekeeping. Got to get you enrolled. We're really interested in those surveys. The parent surveys, students have taken surveys. It helps give us an idea of what what you need, and that allows us to continue to adapt and build and create a really responsive program. So excited to be a part of all of it. So welcome everyone. I'm sure I'll see you around. Take care.
Hi CIBA families, my name is Andrew Alberg and I will be this year's instructional tutor. I will be focusing primarily on the academic needs and support that I will provide for all students here, whether that be getting better organized for their courses, learning how to take notes, or answering questions on homework or preparing for exams and tests. I look forward to meeting more students as the year progresses and have already enjoyed working with the students who have sought me out for help thus far.
Peer tutoring is a program offered by the National Honor Society. This year, the student coordinator is Vaishnav Baptiste. All CIBA students are eligible to participate, either as a student who offers help or a student who gets help. It's a way to get some additional instruction or assistance in a specific class that you're struggling with or with assignments that you don't understand. If you are interested or think you would benefit from helping others or being helped yourself, please check your Google Classroom for more information.
Hello CIBA families, we are the 2 school counselors at Connecticut IB Academy. My name is Erin Severance and I am responsible for students whose last names are A through L.
And I'm Robert Spiller and I'm responsible for students with the last name M through Z. We are here to help students with academic issues,
social emotional challenges,
and college and career readiness.
If you have any questions or any concerns, please don't hesitate to reach us via email or by calling the school.
Hi, my name is Liz Venciano, and I am the on-track coordinator and school social worker at CIBA. As the on-track coordinator and social worker, I am here to help support students to stay on track academically. To help our students stay on track, I monitor their attendance and grades and observe students participating and engaging in the classrooms. I'm available to meet with students individually and collaborate with the support staff, teachers, and families to help develop a plan for the students to get back on track. Once a plan is developed, I will continue to meet with the students and monitor their progress. As the school social worker, I am here to help students who are experiencing social, emotional, or behavioral challenges. I am available to meet with students on an individual and group basis. Through individual and group sessions, I help students learn coping skills and strategies to utilize. I can help refer and connect students and families to community resources and providers. I serve as the liaison between the school and community providers to help provide wraparound services to our students. Teachers can refer students to the student support team, which includes myself and the guidance counselors, Ms. Severance and Mr. Spiller, to meet with the students and develop a plan to address their challenges. If you have any questions, I can be reached at 860-622-5575. I am looking forward to working with the CIBA family this year. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Martha McCurley, and I'm the president of the Parent Advisory Council at CIBA, commonly known as the PAC. Every parent or guardian who has a student attending CIBA is a member of the PAC. You don't have to complete any application. You don't have to pay any dues. Just participate when you can. The PAC meets monthly, and each month we hear from school administration, we hear from student representatives, we often host a speaker, and we just learn a whole lot about the IB program and the school in general. We also have the opportunity to offer our own feedback regarding the school. Last year, the PAC achieved certification as a nonprofit organization. We are now a 501c3 organization. This allows us to go out to the business community, foundations, and seeking contributions for the PAC. We are moving away from parent-centered fundraising, although we'll probably do a little bit, and turning our attention to the business community. Some employers offer matching contributions when their employees make a donation to a 501c3. Our hope is that we will generate funds to begin awarding scholarships sometime in the future at CIBA. Our next meeting is Wednesday, October 6th. It will be held in the lecture hall at CIBA. We'd love for you to join us. If you can't make it all the way into East Hartford for any reason, we always have a Zoom link for our meetings, and you're welcome to join us from your home or office. The meetings run usually about an hour, so do come when you can. Don't feel badly if you can't come every time. We'll be happy to see you when you make it. Thanks again, and I hope to see you real soon. Have a good evening.